All right, let's rub our palms together. We do the Adi mantra 3 times. Thumbs into the sternum, Anjali Mudra, prayer pose. Nice deep full breath into the belly. Full exhale out. Nice deep full breath in. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Beautiful. Nice deep full breath in. Nice full exhale out. We're going to come flat on the ground and start off with our Sufi circles where we usually begin. And this is going to be 360-degree movements, a stirring of the pelvic bowl with the body. The invitation is for the inhale to come across the front of the body, deep into the belly. The exhale as we move across the back, exhaling. Now, how you do these movements and the speed that you do them at is up to you. I want you to lower your awareness from your mind. I want you to move your awareness down into the pelvic bowl. I want you to breathe down into the pelvic bowl, and I want you to ask your body or investigate how your body wants to do this movement. That's why we invite the eyes to close, so that we can go deeper. Moving and breathing together into the belly and gaining access to our autonomic nervous system so that we can use breath and movement to regulate ourselves. Now let's come the other direction now. It's most common that you'll have thoughts that come into the mind. In fact, it's probably guaranteed that you'll have thoughts coming into the mind. But if you go through practice and you find that a thought has taken you off somewhere and you lose connection with your breath, I just ask that you return some of that awareness back to the breath. Always doing that without judgment, in a kind way. We start to train ourselves, that discipline part of our practice. Train ourselves to dwell in this moment. The drishti invitation for most of the exercises in this class, that eye gaze, is going to be eyes closed, slightly tilted up at the brow line, soft in the forehead, soft in the eyes. The breath, unless otherwise directed, will always be those long, deep breaths into the belly. We'll have some practices with breath of fire today. We'll touch on that a little bit if you're newer to it. And a nice deep full inhale right into the belly, deep into the diaphragm. Lifting Mula Bandha, that's a pelvic floor lift as we stretch up to the crown of the head. A Kegel muscle pull, Mula Ban, the same muscle that stops us from going shishi. And release. And bringing the legs out in front of you. We're going to bring ourselves into a forward fold and do some long, deep breaths into the belly. This is a life nerve stretch, yeah? And so the toes are going to pull towards you. Some of us are not going to be able to touch our toes, and that's okay. Some of us are going to have our hands on our shins. Some of us are going to have our hands on our knees. But wherever your hands are, I'd like you to pull your toes in towards you. Now, you can have a little bit of rolling of the back, but you want to keep it as straight as you can. Mine always dumps. I'm a dumper. I kind of go like that. So I'm always trying to kind of get that straight there. And then we come into a forward fold and just come to the edge of your comfort zone. Mine's right here. Some people are going to come all the way down. Some people are going to, be foot. Mine is not too far because my hamstrings are tight. And so we're going to come here, align the neck with the spine, means we draw the chin in a little bit. Take a nice deep breath into the belly. Nice full exhale out. And we'll just be here in some long deep breaths for a few minutes. The central energy channel in the body is the spinal column. Right alongside the nerves within the cerebral spinal fluid, energy moves up and down the spine. And the Kundalini energy lifts through the spinal column, the Shushman, and it drops down the vagus nerve. And alongside that central channel is two spiraling channels called the Ida and Pingala, nadis. One channel cooling, one channel heating. And so we're stretching through the physiology, opening up in the body and breathing through the nose deep into the belly to help to activate those channels. If you'd like to bring a little bounce, you could do these little bounces too, right on the edge of your comfort zone. Just helping to nudge open the body. If there's any sharp sensations, you're a little bit past your comfort zone, and you can tone it back a little bit. Keep the breath long and deep and full, drinking that prana in. Drinking life force in with breath, with oxygen. If you're starting to open, you can come a little deeper maybe. If you find the breath getting shallow, deep, invite it to deepen. Slowly nudging the body open. And a nice deep full breath in. Exhale, we'll come up. Slowly make our way back into easy pose. Cross leg. If you'd like to come back on your cushion, you can. Is anyone new to Breath of Fire, has never heard of what Breath of Fire is? Yeah. Okay, so Breath of Fire is a pumping of the navel point right around the belly button, a little bit below the belly button, and you draw the navel in as you exhale, and you let the navel relax on the inhale. Same as you would do if you're breathing into your belly, right? It makes sense. You breathe in, your belly comes out. You exhale, your belly pulls in. Now, Breath of Fire is a more rapid pace, so and as I exhale, it's kind of this forceful kind of exhale where the navel pulls in and pushes air out. Now, when you're new to it, it feels really wonky and weird. Some people pick it up really quick. A lot of people, most of us, it takes months to kind of feel the rhythm with it. Really beautiful practice for regulating the nervous system. Very activating too. It's very kind of like a replacement for a cup of coffee in a way. And so if you're newer to it, go slower. That means and just get down that, okay, I'm pulling my navel in as I exhale. I'm releasing my navel as I inhale. I'm pulling my navel in as I exhale. I'm releasing as I inhale. So just start off slow. If the rhythm feels good with that, then you can start to speed it up. If you lose the rhythm when you speed it up, slow it back down. Find the breath again. It's totally fine. If you're on your moon cycle or if you're pregnant, we suggest long, deep breaths instead of breath of fire. But I'll leave that up to you. Hands are going to come up at 60 degrees. Tops of the fingers are going to come into the pads. We're going to stretch through the knuckles and stretch through the thumb. Thumbs are going to be stretched out. Lock through the elbow. Shoulders are going to relax down. Heart a little forward. Shoulder blades a little bit back. Eyes will close. Come to the third eye point. Nice deep full breath in. And breath of fire. This is our aura charge, our ego aligner. Using the pumping of the navel to increase the energy, the prana, the kundalini at the center point of the solar plexus, and then lifting that energy up the spinal column, out into the auric field, out into the arc line, the nucleus of our aura. If you're very comfortable with ego aligner, I invite you to maybe have a slight mula bandh and focus on that drishti, that eye gaze around that third eye point. Chin you want to be level, slightly down and back in. Eyes tilted up to the third eye or the crown. This posture will create discomfort. It will create resistance in the body. And so I want to offer that encouragement to move through the resistance. If your mind is getting tired, move through the resistance. If your body needs a break, please take it. Just continue the breath. And when you feel ready, you can come back into the posture. About 1 minute and 15 seconds left. And as you reach some resistance, I invite you to bring a little smile into the mouth, just the slightest upturning of the corners of the mouth. Welcoming whatever resistance arises. As we become stronger, as we become more resilient. You're doing such a good job. 10 seconds left. Nice deep full breath into the belly. Hands are going to stay apart on this one. Keep your hands right where they are. Lift mula bandh, stretch up to the crown, lift out through the knuckles. Eyes up at the third eye or the crown. And release. Lowering the arms. Palms can come up, facing up on top of the knees. Some natural breath, some moments of meditation. Notice how you feel. Notice maybe where the prana gathered in the body and how it's dissipating out into the field. You can feel that like little tingle in the body. For those who are interested in the Kriya Shastra, the understanding of why we do what we do, we didn't bring the thumb tips together in this particular Kriya. The reason we bring the thumb tips together, an ego aligner at the end there, is to match the polarity. It's almost like bringing positive and minus together to balance out the polarity. But this Kriya, we're going to work with a lot of polarity through the whole thing, so we want to maintain the separateness of the two sides until we bring it together at the end. We're going to come to stand. Now we're just going to come into a forward lunge. So my knee's going to be over my ankle. How deep your lunge is up to you, right? If you got like a lot of lunges in your practice, you want to come really deep, go for that. But it could be tiny. You just want to make sure the knee's between the ankle and the tips of the toes. You don't want to go past or that. So you come into that. I'm going to be up on the ball of the foot on my back foot, kind of straight as you can through your knee. Hands are going to come into prayer pose. Back's going to come into alignment with that back leg. So I'm kind of this angle forward. And again, we're going to work with long, deep, full breaths into the belly. So I'm in this posture and I'm going to breathe deep into the belly. I just noticed that my shoulders are dumping, so I pulled my heart forward a little and my shoulder blades back a little. Drawing my chin slightly in to get that alignment of the spine. Be really intentional with the breath. Focus on the sensation of breathing. Draw the breath deep into the diaphragm. And we come into these acupostures to align meridian pathways to get certain energy circulating in the body. We use breath to help facilitate that. And very slowly, very mindfully, on the next inhale, we're going to step forward and switch the legs. Coming back into the lunge on the other side, prayer pose. Coming into alignment with the back leg, with the upper body. Finding your posture, deepening your breath. Always remembering that little smile whenever you forget. Nice deep inhale. As we exhale, we bring the hands down. And I'm going to offer you to come through a down dog or any little movements that feel good for you. And we're all going to end up in tabletop. And take your time. How do you want to move? What does your body want? And we'll end in tabletop. Hips are going to be over the knees. When I'm in tabletop, I'm always trying to focus on spreading my fingers out and starting with my fingertips on the mat and then rolling my hands down. And you want your middle finger to kind of point forward, like at the 12 o'clock position. You feel that opening through the palms. And we're going to work with a diagonal imbalance. This is a way to trick the body into thinking it's chronically depleted, so it draws life force into the chakra system. And so we do that by doing these strange diagonal movements. And so I'm going to lift my left leg up. It's going to come back behind me. My right arm is going to lift, right? So opposite arm and leg. And we're going to be stretching out through the toes, out through the fingertips. And then as I inhale, it's going to be like one of those sniffing kind of quicker breaths. As I inhale, I lift my leg and arm. And as I exhale, I lower them. Kind of small movement, yeah? And it's going to be kind of at a breath of fire pace. Really good for bringing the hemispheres of the brain into alignment, that logic and magic. Deep breath in, stretch out through the fingers and toes. And release. You can rest in tabletop, you can rest in child's pose, wherever you want to come to. We'll come back into our tabletop. This time we'll be working with the right leg and the left arm. With these diagonal imbalances, we're always going to be working on the opposite sides of the body, yeah? So always the leg and arm are the opposite. So if you ever feel it feels really hard, it's usually because I'm using the same, right? That's really hard to do, right? But when it's the opposite, you'll kind of get that counterbalance. So we'll lift the right leg, we'll lift the left arm. Nice deep breath in, and begin. If you're comfortable with your balance, you're welcome to close the eyes and go inward. Deep breath in, stretch out through the toes and the finger, lift Mula Bandha. And release. Child's pose, some long, deep, full breaths. It's a good time to let yourself know that you love yourself. I love you. I'm proud of you. You're doing such a good job. I love you. Proud of you. You're doing such a good job. I love you. I'm proud of you. You're doing such a good job. And we'll slowly come up. We'll come into easy pose. And we're going to go for another rest. And so I'm going to bring my hands in a Venus grip behind my back. Venus grip is where we interlace the fingers and we make a little fist like that. That's going to sit right on the sacrum, and our head, if your head can touch the mat, your head's going to come to the mat. Otherwise, you're just going to come wherever you come to. Like that. Hands will rest on the sacrum. Yeah, if you come here, that's totally fine. A lot of the times, too, for me, I can't do it like this, but when I bring my legs out like this, I can. My hips are also, we got to get those hips open. It takes time. And so come wherever you come to, and we'll just do long, deep breaths into the belly. The hands are going to rest on the sacrum, right at the dantian, that resting Kundalini spot. You'll feel, because you're crunched over, right? And you breathe into the belly, the diaphragm has to expand backwards, and it's going to massage the kidneys and the adrenals, massage the torso, the organs and glands that create most of our emotional experience. Help to clean out the body. A nice deep full breath in. Exhale. And we can slowly come up out of the posture. A few natural breaths. Just notice how you feel. We're going to come into a bridge pose with our leg extended and do work with breath of fire. Again, working that polarity in the body. So the full posture is going to look like this. We're going to come up into bridge. I'm going to kick my foot out through my toe and I'm going to do breath of fire. For some people, that's going to be a lot. For me, it's a lot. These are hard postures for me. And so you can also come onto your back and then just lift the pelvis up and then bring the foot out like that. Yeah. And then if you need to lower the foot and continue the breath and take a break, do that. Just do what you can, feel good about it, take care of your body. The key is the alignment, right? We're going for this specific alignment of energy, like bringing energy down through the leg into the torso. And so we'll just work on both legs, about a minute each. Cool? First one is your hands come under your shoulders, your fingers face forward. You lift up on the soles of your feet, and you want to come relatively straight here, and then the leg comes out like that. So let's come into, yeah, it's challenging. It's a good one. Let's come into the posture. We'll start with the right leg, lifting the right leg, pointing through the toes. Deep breath in, and breath of fire. Always do what you can and feel good about that. Make the adjustments your body needs. Listen to the body. If it's just the mind that gets cranky, we do it anyway. But if the body's communicating, we listen. 15 seconds, doing great. Deep breath in. Stretch out through the toe, lift Mulaband. And release. Great job. Just come to rest. Any resting posture that feels good. Some nice deep breaths. Again, we're working on those diagonal imbalances in the body, so notice where the tingles are and notice how they move when you soften, when you let go. It's very cool to start to develop self-mastery over the physiology and the metaphysiology, the physical body and the energy bodies. Deeply empowering. We're going to come into the other side. Up into our bridge pose. We're going to bring the left leg up now. Deep breath in. And breath of fire. Almost there, 10 seconds. Deep full breath in. Lift and stretch. And release. Great job. Come to lay down on the back. Some nice, long, full, deep breaths. Deeply rooting practice gets us rooted into that solar plexus, into that immortal authority in the lower three chakras, to our connection with the earth. And you can stay laying down. I'm just going to explain a breath to you. We're going to work with an 8-stroke inhale through the nose, a 1-stroke exhale through the nose. So what that means is in 8 little sniffs, I'll fill my breath. It'll be and then 1 full exhale through the nose. 8 little tiny sniffs in, 1 full exhale out. It's called a segmented breath. It's for focus and concentration. And what we're going to do is we're going to come into a back platform. This is extremely hard for me, and we're only going to be here for a minute. This is like the hardest thing for me. I have a really hard time with this one. So there's a couple options. The way the Kriya says to do it, you bring your elbows down, you make fists, your hands are at your sides kind of up like this, and then you lift up. Oh, I can't do it. Oh, God, it hurts my elbow so bad. So what I do is I bring my forearms flat on the ground like this, and you can come up like this. The other option is to bring the palms down and come up like this. This one feels the easiest for me. This one I feel like, okay, I got this. Now, do what you can, feel good about it, right? So like if your butt's on the ground, your butt's on the ground. Don't worry about it. Just have fun with it. But the 8 segmented breath in through the nose, 1 full out. So 8 sniffs in to fill, and then 1 out. Cool? 1 minute. First one, elbows down. I can't even do it because my elbow hurts right now from winging. And then you lift yourself up like this. Right, but your hands are up. Yeah, you lift your pelvis up. It won't come very high. Most of us. Yeah. If you're lighter, you got an advantage here. So come into whatever back platform feels good for you. 8 segments in, 1 exhale out. And go at your own pace. Don't worry about what your neighbor's doing. Listen to the body. One more round. And lower. You can rest on your back, you can rest in easy pose, whatever feels better for you. After a few breaths, we'll all meet in easy pose, and we're going to continue that same breath now. We're going to be doing it in Anjali Mudra in prayer pose at the heart. Just coming into easy pose, bringing the hands into the chest, a little bit of pressure against the sternum. Eyes will close, gently come up towards the brow line, soft in the forehead and the eyes. And we'll work with that same breath, but now, as you do the inhales, you're going to do a very light pumping of the belly. So, all right, so each of those 8 little strokes in, a little gentle pumping of the belly. And then a full nice release out. We'll be here for about 2 minutes. Any questions? So we'll close the eyes and begin. Always welcome to invite a little smile to the mouth. Nice deep full breath in. Exhale out. Fingertips will come down to the mat. We're going to draw ourselves up into crow pose. Now, if you're newer to crow or it's challenging for you, you can keep your cushion there and you can sit on the cushion, just put your feet flat. That's totally fine. If crow's in your practice, you'll come up into it. You do want your feet to be flat on the ground. So if you're up on the balls of the feet, that's how you know. Usually if my feet are too close together, I have to be on the balls of the feet. So for me, I widen them. I can come down flat. You can also roll your mat up and bring them down flat as well. We're kind of sitting down here low. It's going to be very easy or very challenging depending on your body. Hands are going to come into Gyan Mudra, thumb and forefinger together. They're going to come out to the side. We're going to take a nice deep breath in, and then breath of fire with backward circles. Deep breath in, breath of fire, and backward circles. Probably naturally maybe start to bounce a little bit. That's okay. Really good for cleaning out those blockages, those energy blocks in the central channel and through the heart space. Deep breath in, stretch out through the fingers. Exhale, drop down. It's an easy pose. Find your seat. And then we're going to do very similar. We're going to have Gyan Mudra. The hands are going to come out in front of you. Elbows will be straight. My fingers, I'm in Gyan Mudra. Yeah, thumb and forefinger together. They're kind of down the ground. As I inhale, one of my arms is going to come up. And I'm going to do breath of fire and exhaling. It's called a heart strum. So I won't tell you which hand to start with. I'll let you decide. Whatever your body flows with is totally fine. So we call this a gratitude line in Kundalini Yoga. It's kind of area that moves through the heart. The upper brachial nervous system is a large portion of what the heart chakra is. It moves around the diaphragm and the heart and out through the arms to the tips of the fingers. And cleaning out the heart center. About 30 more seconds. Deep breath in, stretch up to the hands. Keep that Gyan Mudra, lift Mula Bandha, stretch up to the crown, up to the fingers. Eyes at the third eye or the crown. And release. Oh, a few moments of meditation. Notice how you feel. Feel that prana. Feel that life force. Close class with the mantra Sat Nam. Long Sat and a short Nam. The infinite is what we truly are. Mantra that reminds us of our deepest identity beyond the thoughts and the emotions and the personality structure, deep into our being. I'll rub the palms together. And the thumbs into the sternum. We'll do the mantra one time. Nice deep full breath in. Full exhale in. And deep full breath in. Sa